Hello, viewers, and welcome back to a My Hero Academia Friday. And I'm your humble host, Josh24214. And yeah, today we're going to be tackling chapter 245 today for My Hero Academia. And a reminder for last week. Yes, I would like to clarify. Yes, I did make a mistake in the previous chapter. That I missed two details. That one was made like doesn't affect very much of the plot, but the second thing is much more important. So we'll get to the first thing first. That Nostradamus was having nosebleeds when he was using his quirk. So that's just a reference to how psychics can push their minds sometimes when projecting their powers and they can cause nosebleeds. It's just a minor forgetfulness. But the second thing, I didn't notice that during the scene with the when Hawks is just looking through one of his wings, that if you look very very closely, there's a little camera or tracking device on one of his on his feathers, and that's the stuff that Skeptic was using. And I'm sorry I didn't notice that in the previous chapter. I would like to apologize. I messed up. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes two simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Besides that, last chapter in 244 we have Hawks. Um, uh, we so in the previous chapter we had Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki helping out Endeavor against Nostradamus, and that's not even his real name. It's like Starlight or something. But I'm still calling him Nostradamus, so he's been permanently taken care of. And Hawks just keel stealed everybody else's EXP for the party, but he's here now, and he's now spreading the word of the Quirk Liberation Army. And hopefully Hawks will definitely is trying to deliver a secret message to Endeavor, and let's see if Endeavor catches on. So we are in chapter 245, and the chapter is entitled Uprising. So we start off where we left off with Endeavor thinking about the thought about what Hawks said during the last chapter, and he said, and there's a little bit of flavored text. Number one's response to number two's invitation. So we cut. So we start out with some dialogue with the flashback to the previous chapters and the last time we saw Hawks with Endeavor during the Endeavor storyline. And this is all the narration comes from Endeavor, and he states, "I just want," and he's going through the flashback with the talk between Hawks and Endeavor, and this was Hawks saying, "I just want to take it easy. I like to live in a world where all heroes have too much time to spare." And we cut back to present day, and he's still thinking about Endeavor is still thinking about trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. And he starts his narration, and he states, "Something's not right here." We get the chapter title revealed, number 245, Uprising by Horikoshi, My Hero Academia. And Endeavor continues while Hawks is just passing the book that he recommended. And Endeavor continues, "What's with that face?" And he's like, and Hawks, when you see him in the panels, he's like super serious. Like, "I really want you to have this book." So on the next page, Hawks is able to give Endeavor the book, and Hawks starts talking. "Please do take some time to read it, okay?" And he just gives the book. And we cut away to Midoriya and Todoroki. We see only Midoriya talking, but he goes on a chat. He starts to talk. "The number two's Heroes book recommendation. I want to read it too. Perhaps The secret to his speed is hidden within its pages. No, you do not want to read those books. They're full of propaganda and stuff. And Hawks just quickly spins around and he's like, happy enjoy. If you're interested, I got plenty of copies to spare. So well prepared, and that's probably everybody else. So well prepared. You where did you even let me guess. I think I can finish the sentence. Where did you even hide those books? And so we carry on to page 3. And Hawks is just giving the Liberation Army book around. And you get up to each of the other 3 with Bakugo, Todoroki, and Midoriya. And Hawks is just like, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book. Books for everybody. And we continue with Hawks' talking. That's right, it's the age of the number 2 hero now. If you're looking for speed, these give you the power to read into the future. And Midoriya continues, so fast to hand them out. And Todoroki continues with the conversation. He must really love this book. He's got so many of them. Midoriya continues. He probably keeps a few just to hand out. And Hawks continues, and being happy as always. That's exactly it, Midoriya. And Hawks is just about to fly away with his giant wings. In the next panel, and he continues his speech. I'm recommending it to my friends and acquaintances across the country. And there's a random people saying, it's Hawks. And Hawks continues, going forward, I think that liberation is going to become a founding philosophy for this society. And Hawks continues while looking at Endeavor sneakily. At the very least, take a look at the parts I've highlighted. That's my recommendation as number 2. And on the next page, page 4, and this chapter is 16 chapters long. Horikoshi has been on the ball with chapter pages. And Hawks just flies off and he says, well, I gotta head out. Good luck with your internships, y'all. And we get into an inner monologue with Hawks, and he says, while looking at Endeavor, you better train those interns well, Endeavor. So he flies off, and we cut back to Midoriya and Todoroki and Bakugo, and Midoriya starts talking. Despite being so young, he sees the world totally different. He's only 22, you know. And Todoroki continues, yeah, we're only 6 years apart, huh? And Bakugo, just being Bakugo himself, just says, he pisses me off. And we have Endeavor starting reading the book that Hawks gave him, and the only thing he can respond to reading parts of the book, he said, that's right. But besides that, now on the last panel, we head over to the Endeavor agency, and Endeavor's office is like really tall. And with a giant flaming E on the front. You know it's a giant Endeavor. So we cut back inside to Endeavor's agency. We only seen like small snippets of Endeavor's agency during the Stain storyline, but at least we're finally getting a better look in the entire place. And right off the bat on the next page, on page 6, we see more sidekicks for Endeavor with a crazy fiery, a crazy, oh god. We see a giant, we see a couple of the new sidekicks for Endeavor, and she's all like dressed up in like I think supposed to be like a barbecue or something. I'm not really 100% sure. And her quirk is just flaming hair. That's kind of awesome. And we also have 3 other sidekicks, like a sidekick with a giraffe that looks like a grenade or something, and one that looks like a mummy, and you know what? Forget it. So the fiery redhead, we don't actually get their names, so I'm just calling random names. And she starts, "Welcome to, welcome to the Endeavor Heroes Agency. We're all, we're all psych, we're all the sidekicks of fire. It's the two of you's, it's the, it's the two of you's first times as interns here, right?" We get a close way to Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki, and Midoriya's like, "Oh my god," just geeking out a little bit, and we get more of probably fiery redheads talk. "We're going to put all of you to work right away, but as you can see, we got plenty of people here. There are over 30 of us sidekicks." And Midoriya's thinking in his head, saying, "It's the famous sidekick Burnin." Okay, so she does have a name, and her name is Burden. Okay. And yeah, Midoriya's like geeking out, like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And we get on the next page, page 7, we see Burnin with Bakugo, and they start a bit of conversation. And Burnin starts saying, "In other words, there's no way for you to make yourself useful." And Bakugo continues, "Interesting, so you're saying to go steal some pro's work?" "Exactly." "You too, Shoto. Don't you go making yourself comfortable just because you're Endeavor's kid. You better keep up with the rest of us." And they do a famous. They had to do the flame on. They say flame on, all four of them together. Gabby helped. And we get more, like, random background characters doing whatever, their work while Midoriya talks. Boy, are they a lively bunch, and we get a lot of chit-chatting with everybody. "Contact the patrol unit. Dispatch request received. It's the agency for the number one hero, after all. They're too far. Let's head out." So we cut away to the mummy, and he starts talking. "In general, we cycle between going on patrols and standing by, with jobs ranging from emergency calls to escorts to requests. Our agency will handle over 100 cases every day." And we cut back to Bakugo, and he talks. "In that case, let's hurry up and get started. I'm still pissed at that cheeky bird for stealing my kill." Okay, cheeky bird? You mean Hawks? And the mummy actually encourages that. That's the spirit. Now then, let's wait for Endeavor's orders. And we pan the camera over to the double-decker doors, probably leading into Endeavor's main office, and side stuff is happening between a lot of things. "The hell? Don't y'all handle 100 cases every day?" "Ka-chan, calm down." "Settle down already, kid." And we cut into Endeavor's office, and he's just sitting on his chair on his with his desk, and he's reading the Quark Liberation Army. And he's thinking about what's been going on, all the weird stuff with Hawks he encountered today. And he starts speaking. "I can't shake this feeling. It was way too different from back then." And Endeavor is thinking, yeah, maybe I should read the book just in case something's going on. And we get a flashback to more stuff from the Endeavor storyline. "I want you to be the kind of hero that can proudly say, 'Don't worry, leave it to me.' A society where each person takes responsibilities for themselves. Now is the time." And we get more of Endeavor's dialogue while reading the highlighted parts of the book, and he states, "It's like the opposite of what you normally say. You're the type of person who speaks your heart while acting like you're joking." At the and we get more into multiple panels of seeing throughout Hawks a lot. And Endeavor continues, at the very least, whenever you were with me, you'll always be joking around. This, and we see on the bottom of the page, we see he's still reading the book and he's still thinking. This was the opposite. We carry on to page 10, and we get more of his thoughts on, yeah, something's fishy going on, and Endeavor starting to put the pieces together. Like, yeah, there's something fishy, and I think I should listen. And he continues his dialogue. That wasn't what you really thought. At the very least, take a, and we get more flashback to what happened earlier in this chapter. At the very least, take a look at the parts I've highlighted. So he's looking at the pages that highlighted, but sadly it's in Japanese for the moment, so I have no idea what it actually reads, this whole text. And more of Hawks' dialogue from earlier. That's my recommendation as number 2. And we got more dialogue of Endeavor speaking while reading the highlighted parts. What a roundabout way of wording it. There must be something he wanted to say, but he couldn't tell me directly for some reason. Number 2. And on page 11, Endeavor finally sees something weird's going on, and he's starting to figure things out. And we see parts of the book that probably were highlighted, and it goes, and Endeavor figures out the secret code to how Hawks is sending secret messages to him, and it states in the message, enemy is the, it just says enemy, he is the however, as the pub, the liberation, an army is. And Endeavor figures out what's going on. And we get more Endeavor's dialogue. The second words, taking the second words of the highlighted parts, reveals a message. And if you read that message again, every second word, it states, enemy is the Liberation Army. And that's kind of clever, hiding Hawks' having the bits that are highlighted and tried to form a sentence that says the enemy is the Liberation Army. So he's using, so every second word is always going to be the secret message, but Hawks would have to be very careful putting a secret message. So I guess I had doubts that people probably will have doubts that Endeavor is not a complete moron and he can read the secret message. So while that's going on with that big revelation, we cut away to Hawks as he flies back. And Hawks has his inner monologue. For the time being, I was able to deliver my coded message, but Endeavor looks like a pretty dense guy. I wonder if that was a bit too subtle for him. And we cut back to what went on 2 chapters ago, with Hawks attending the hotel where the Liberation Army is, and he continues, since the Liberation Army has a lot of heroes among them, I can't reveal any information through the official channels. That's a pretty good idea, because we don't know how many heroes. We only know Slide and Go is a hero, and he's part of the Liberation Army, so we don't know how many actual heroes he has, that Redistro has under his pocket to make sure that no heroes won't interfere. So Hawks continues, using my face to hide a message. Even for me, that's in pretty bad taste. And now we cut away back to Endeavor, and he's crazily reading through the book, trying to get the secret message through. And he's starting, and now we get more of the message that Hawks sent. And it states, enemy is the Liberation Army, taken over by the League. They number over 100,000. So Endeavor knows what's going on, and we cut back yet again back to Hawks as he continues. Well, there was no other way. After all, my digital and written communications channels are blocked. Yeah, because of Skeptic's bugs on his wings, on his feathers. So it's going to make delivering messages to the heroes agency and Endeavor. So hopefully Endeavor will pass the message on to the Heroes Safety Commission and see if they can do something about it. So after all that with Hawks, we cut away back to...
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom!
Yeah, we cut back to the hotel where the Quirk Liberation Army or the Paranormal Liberation Front are. And on the last panel of page 13, we get... Oh my god, are you serious? And we see Hawks entering the main hall as all the current members of the Paranormal Liberation Army are just about to have a meeting. And this is totally a Legion of Doom here we're doing here. Or are we actually doing a Legion of Doom or the Guild of Calamitous Intent? Because this is getting like Guild of Calamitous Intent stuff. Oh my god, even Horikoshi is a fan of DC comics, so this wasn't subtle at all. And we get Hawks speaking. I've been working to spread the beliefs of the Liberation Army. So on the page 14, we cut to Twice, and he's Twice is... Oh my god. No. Legion of Doom is not enough. I think this is like the Robot Chicken Legion of Doom, because Twice is drinking like coffee or something for like a frappuccino or something, and he starts talking. Oi, Hawks, you're really working hard, aren't you? What a great guy. You're evil. You have split personality, butting in. Why don't you become one of my men? We see Hawks continuing. The public still believes that the League is in hiding with only a few members. They haven't even noticed the Liberation Army. And while this is going on, we see that we have Toka freaking out, like girling. Ah! And Twice just finishes Frappuccino and just tosses it over the shoulder, not really caring. I mean, do they like have a janitor who has to clean up all that stuff? That's gotta be sad for the janitor. And probably the other members will probably get annoyed by Twice's shenanigans with tossing the trash over in the main meeting room. So we get Hawks continuing. Though they're all still investigating the League's involvement in Deca City incident, our soldiers are doing a good job. And finally, it looks like the training of the next generation has begun. And we have Skeptic butting into this conversation. He says, "Ah, right. Endeavor has 3 of them, did he?" And we go back. I think the next speech bubble says it's Izuku, and it's probably Toga just freaking out and orgasming or something like that. I have no idea. And I think it's Mr. Compress just continues, for real. What a coincidence. And we cut away to Dobby, and he starts speaking, and he says he hasn't grown much, has he? And I think he could be referring to Midoriya, or could he be referring to Todoroki? Who knows? And we have Hawks continuing the conversation with Dobby, and he says, well, he is still a student after all. And after the meeting, after that long chat, Hawks is about to leave the main office of the League of the Paranormal Liberation Front, and it's good to see that Reed Destro is still around, and he says, Excellent work. You may leave, Hawks. And Hawks just leaves the room. And for the next three panel, we get a zoom in on the door, and while that's going on, we see it's Hawks' inner dialogue. He continues, in order to ensure that I don't miss even the smallest signal, I've been training with my wings. We get a little flashback to the wings, and he continues, I can phase different sounds just by using the vibrations in the air. I can hear it all. So one of the feathers was jammed in the door without the bugs, so he's also keeping tabs on so he can bug the Liberation's meeting while they're having their big talk while Hawks is away. So getting more information out of the other members is doing good. He's doing good so far. That's kind of clever hiding that information. Hopefully Skeptic doesn't catch on that he's a traitor or something. So we get into a conversation. All on schedule, right, Spinner? I think this is Reed Destro, but I can't tell by the speech bubbles. So I'm just going to do my best. All on schedule, right, Spinner? And I'm assuming it's Spinner in the next one. Be sure to keep the morale of our soldiers high. Once Tomura obtains his power, we'll finally be ready. We're getting into that secret weapon again. What is the secret weapon? Anyway, what is this power? We know Tomura's after a power that the Mad Doctor has. So it could be, some people are saying it's different things, that it could be just the high-end Nomus that we saw in the Endeavor arc and he's about to unleash them all. Or it's something more sinister going on, like would have giant ramifications later on. So we'll just have to wait and see what Tomura's little power, gaining this power from the Mad Doctor, is later. And we cut back to so we're on the last page. We see the last four. We start with the four panels, with the five panels having Endeavor continuing reading. And what does it say? In 4 more months, and Endeavor's saying it, in 4 more months, and we cut back to the meeting, and we have Toga speaking, everything, boom, will be destroyed by Tomura. Damn! So in 4 months, mostly April, the League of Villains are going to, the Paranormal Liberation Front are going to launch their attack. Okay. And on the last panel on the last page, we see Tomura in some kind of room, and he's shirtless, looking down on the hand that he's using to cover his face. Probably about to receive his power, and I think he's got some kind of band-aid to cover up his plucked fingers. And there's a little bit on the text. The threat draws near. Next issue to celebrate season 4 of the anime, a color cover and an illustration. So yeah, next Saturday, My Hero Academia season 4 is going to be launched. So I can't wait for that. And if you guys want me to answer some questions for season 4, I would do that, but just let me know. And a whole lot of shit is going to happen in 4 months. In April. So yeah, in April, the Paranormal Liberation Front are going to make an attack. So yeah, now that Hawks knows, and luckily for so that means when he was flying back to the hotel, when he was spreading the word of gospel, the beginning of that meeting, that was a flashback. Okay. Okay, so a lot of shit is gonna happen in 4 months. So yeah, so the Paranormal Liberation Front are going to attack, and Yeah, luckily Endeavor's got the message, so hopefully the Hero Safety Commission can do something about it. So until then, that was an enjoyable chapter, and I can't wait for where the story goes. So I guess we'll just have to wait until chapter 246 to continue this storyline. So until then, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you on the very next episode. So bye for now.